Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? NZD here with you with a second stimulus check update and a second stimulus package update and what's going on Capitol Hill and the White House, and will there be a second stimulus check and what's holding it up? Yes, ladies and gentlemen, as you know, it's been negotiation going back and forth between Democrats and Senate, between Mnuchin and Meadows and Pelosi and Schumer in terms of trying to work out a second stimulus package going back and forth. Now, right now, Congress is on vacation, but they will be coming back. Senate will be coming back on September 8th, and the negotiation is still going on. There's no medium ground yet. There's no medium level, there's no agreement, nothing. So what's going on? I don't know. It's still about the numbers. It's still about the numbers. They still can't agree with the numbers. You have the Republicans willing to go up to $1.3 trillion, and you have the Democrats now going from $3.4 trillion down to $2.2 trillion, but there's still no common ground. Now with the Senate coming back into play, guess what? They're going to be trying to put forth a skinny bill. Now it's kind of hard trying to understand how they're going to keep going about these different bills, these different skinny bills and things like that. When back in May, we had a big major HEROES Act, which was passed in the House of Representatives. Why can't the Senate look at this, reduce what has to be reduced, and pass what needs to be passed? So they keep going back and forth. And now with the Senate coming back on September 8th, they're going to be planning on doing what they call their new skinny bill package, and it's not going to be a lot of money. It's going to be $500 billion, and there's no talk of having a stimulus check in there. There's no talk of having a stimulus check. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is NZD. Before I continue this video, please hit that like button so YouTube and the algorithm can know that this video is of value to you and of value to others. And if you haven't started investing it, try looking at the app Acorn. I'm going to have a link inside the description below. You click on the link in Acorn, and Acorn will give you $5 just for signing up, so you can use that $5 towards investment. So as we continue, there's no common ground, no agreement between the Democrats and the Republicans in terms of the second stimulus package. Now, within about the last month or so, what you have is President Trump is stepping it up. And President Trump is doing executive order. A lot of things he's doing executive order on. He did executive order on the unemployment bonus going through FEMA. He was able to get people $300 extra each week through FEMA, but the only thing, it doesn't last more than 6 weeks. Majority of states are applying to get that funding through FEMA, and right now, more than 10 states already start to pay out that $300 weekly bonus, and even some states are paying out $400 weekly bonus, as well as many states already paid out the whole retro. So it's supposed to be like retro for the whole August. So some state already paid out like the whole $900 and about to pay out like another $300 weekly until they run out of all the funds. But what else is going on now with the executive order? He also used some kind of way through, I believe, the CDC, where they're saying that, hey, if people start to evict renters out of their home, it's going to be a violation, because right now we can't evict people because it's going to make the pandemic even worse. It's going to make the virus spread even more than it is right now. So right now there's an eviction moratorium, and I believe it's some kind of program through the CDC where they say, hey, right now it'll be emergency health issue if people starts to get evicted out of their home, because we just don't want to start mixing up people and having people all over the place, because that's how the virus can be able to travel and starts to affect more people. Also, what the president also did was through USDA, I believe. Through USDA, he was also able to secure funding for students who are in schools and for students who are under the age of 18. There's some funding through the USDA, so there's going to be different programs out there. So especially through the USDA, you can search it online. There's going to be a program through the USDA, executive order, where there's food funding, especially for lunch funding for people who are in school. Right now, what President Trump is saying, he's willing to do more executive order, and he's willing to do executive order in terms of stimulus check. So President Trump may use executive order to use money that is already allocated from the HEROES Act. It's allocated to the Main Street Lending Program, but a lot of people is not taking advantage of it because of some of the stipulations and some of the backfires that might come with taking that loan. You know, some other things are banks have to back the loan by like 5%, I believe, and some things are if a business take the loan, like like medium to small business, not those large companies, but the small to medium sized business. If they take a loan out, they can't go down the road and later on and say they're going to claim bankruptcy. And also they have to be hiring more people. So some of these people either have employees that was on deferral payment, or some of them was laid off. What they have to do is now hire back some people to show that they are putting forth that initiative to have people get hired back, to have the job market continue to grow, and have people be able to work and pay their bills. But what President Trump is saying now is that since that money is not being touched, what he's willing to do is it's about I believe like 450 to about $500 billion. Now remind you, with the HEROES Act, it only took about $300 billion to get stimulus checks out to people. So what President Trump is saying now, he's willing to take out $300 billion out of this $450 billion, send it out to the people as a stimulus check. And he said that President Trump said he's willing to take $300 billion, and they're saying it probably wouldn't even take that much, because remember, a lot of people still haven't received their first stimulus check, or even people who got who are deceased receive stimulus checks. So you got to think some of that number might reduce. So some people are saying it's only going to be about $250 billion in order to get stimulus check to each person. And that's going to be $1,200 each person, and about $500 for each dependent, up to 3 dependents. So what President Trump is saying, that he's gonna wait on Congress to see if Congress would allow him to do this, and if not, he's saying if not, there might be some kind of loophole which will allow him to take some of this money out and use it as an executive order, because the money was already allocated. So he really don't need permission to spend it, since Congress already gave permission to spend it and allocate it as a mainstream lending program. He's saying like, hey, since we're not using it over here, let's take this money, people need stimulus, and let's send some more stimulus check. So you never know, we'll probably be seeing another stimulus check in around end of September, maybe October. Nancy Pelosi is still stuck on wanting the $2.2 trillion stimulus package, and she's saying she's willing to postpone some of the stuff for state and local government until the following session, which is going to be in January. Right now, the House of Representatives won't be back into session until September 14th. So when they come back, they might be seeing a skinny stimulus package from the Senate Republican leaders, and they might have to vote on that. If not, President Trump said he might be using his executive order and sending out stimulus check. Right now, Pelosi and Mnuchin do have an agreement, though, in terms of holding up Senate and holding up Congress in terms of the debate for the budget. They said they're just going to stick with the regular budget that they have, just going to continue the budget, have the budget continuing based off of last year's budget, and so we don't have to include or interrupt the whole process with including stuff for stimulus package and holding up the whole thing and possibly having the government shut down like we did before. Like many are saying, is Nancy Pelosi is stuck on that $2.2 trillion. And what she's saying is, in return, is that the Democrats posed a HEROES Act, which got passed through the House of Representatives about 100 days ago. They posed this to the Senate, and the Senate didn't take any action on it. And in this HEROES Act, we had testing, we had money for testing, money for treatment, money for curing the virus, money for tracking, money for the people, stimulus checks, money for state and local government, money for the unemployment, money for SNAP. It was a variety of things in order to have the economy continue to be able to thrive and be able to stimulate the economy. But like they said, they can't come to agreement. So maybe the president just might have to do another executive order, take some of that $300 billion out of the Main Street lending program and put it into stimulus check and send it out to the people, so we can help stimulate the economy and so people can help with paying their bills and taking care of what they have to. Once again, this is Ainsley Dawkins. Please subscribe to the channel. Hope you got some value out of this, and I'll see you next time. Continue to be safe. Peace.